What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Easter for those who celebrate it. Today we're back going to work on the C10 a little bit. I didn't receive the oil that I needed for the converter and stuff, so I'm not going to pull the engine and transmission out. There's no point to, because I don't have the oil for it. Plus, another thing I was going to do is I was going to put it on the lift just to make it easier to pull that transmission out. But Nick's car is still apart. He should be receiving the parts, I think, sometime this week for it. So hopefully his car will be going back together. But I did receive some parts in the mail. I got the electronic, the switchboard and stuff. Nick actually told me the wrong one. This is a dash mount and not a bar mount. So it doesn't have the little bracket on the back for it, but that's not a big deal. I can make that if I have to. One of the reasons why I'm going to be putting the inside stuff all back together is I need to get the driver's seat in, and then I need to see where I could reach that I could put this. I would like to put this in here just to kind of take up that space, because otherwise it's not going to be used. But I have to see when I'm strapped in the seat if I can even reach that far. If I can't, then obviously I can't put it there, and then I'll have to find a new spot. So let's just get working on it and see what we can do today. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do. Either I can't do it down there, it's not enough space. Up here is pretty much gonna be dead space anyway, so make a bracket, mount it behind. Alright, yeah, looking like that's where it's gonna go. I can reach all the buttons fine. We got the inside in. The only thing I didn't put in is this bracket right here, but that's just because it's gonna have to come back out anyway, so might as well just leave it. Alright, so I know I'm gonna mount this normally where the radio would go, but I'm gonna have to cut it out just a little bit to fit this behind it. I'm just trying to think. What I'll probably do is I'll probably make a bracket, screw it down. There's a couple holes right there I can secure it to, and then I'll use the Velcro to go on the plate. This way it's, it's solid. If I have to remove it, I can without trying to take the whole thing off. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how to do it. I don't want to start cutting and then mess up and then, be in real trouble. So just gonna try to figure out how to do this real quick, and then we'll just keep going from there. So I started making a template and everything for this, and I started thinking, and then I looked at it and I was overcomplicated things for no reason. When I could just put it like this, stick it on the front, it still looks good. It's not going to be sunk behind it kind of like I wanted, but I mean, it is what it is. It's okay. It still looks good. I'll have to just get a plate to go behind it, and I'm thinking I could sandwich it, or I'll just screw something to kind of, keep it nice and tight in there. So that's what I'm gonna do for that. No reason to overcomplicate things and just make things harder for what? For no reason. So I mean, it's pretty good. So that's where it's gonna go. So now that that is done and out of the way, let me get out of here. So now that that's done and out of the way, the next thing I'm going to do, which I might do that right now, is mount the regulator. So before you seen, I was kind of trying to figure out exactly where to put it, this and that. I'm just gonna mount that thing on the firewall. I talked to a bunch of people and they mount on the firewall. As long as it's not above the transmission if the flex wheel ever breaks or anything like that, starts flying, as long as it's not around that, then they say I'm okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a 45 on here, a 45 on here. I'll tie them together and then just come around, boom, mount it to that. One thing that I did have to do was I had to buy new AN line. For some reason, the other line, it's probably because it's from eBay, so just, you know, be careful where you buy your AN line, but it was just a little bit too thick to where the fittings would not go on. And like I said before, I tried and tried, it would not work. So I had to spend the money to get this line from my local shop. And yeah, this line's not cheap, so hopefully I got enough. Hopefully I can do it once and not have to cut, you know, 10 feet off of it trying to get the fittings on. So let's just see what happens, I guess. So I got the lines on. Obviously, right here I did self-tappers. That's only because I don't have the screws, or I can't even find the screws. I know I bought some, but I'm not sure exactly where they went. So that's just temporary. The screws, I'm gonna run to Lowe's probably this week. Get a nice screw with a nylon nut on the back. This way I don't have to worry about it loosening up or anything like that. So my plan for this is I'm gonna actually run it down and then run it inside of the frame and then all the way back. So what I'll do is I'll get some heat shielding for the tube, so I'll put that on that as it goes down that way, then I don't have to worry about it. Also, another thing I had to do, another reason why I kind of mounted this kind of a little bit far, one, because I had to, but two, because I still have to run the dipstick for the transmission. That's gonna come up probably behind here and just mount right there on the side, right up here. So we'll see about that. I'm not gonna mount that today just because I don't want to have to worry about moving all that stuff again. So it came out pretty nice. Everything, nothing in the way of anything per se. One of the things I did do when I cut these, I took some brake cleaner, I sprayed it through the line just to kind of clear it out. But before I start it up, what I'll do is I'll let the pump run, pump some gas out of it, just this way no garbage gets inside of the carb. So one thing after another. Hopefully sometime this week I will be able to pull the motor transmission out. I'm kind of having to wait for Nick to get his car off of the lift. His car should go back together sometime this week, but I don't know. Alright guys, well that's gonna be for today's video. Off camera I just did some little things. I added some zip ties right here just so it looks nice, and I know how it's gonna go. Like I said, for the feed line, I already kind of explained how that's gonna go. One of the things I just did was in here I put the glove box in. It's not gonna serve any purpose. Actually it doesn't open because it touches the roll bar right here, so it doesn't open very far. I had to hit it in to actually get it in there, and it's fit. So other than cosmetic reasons, it's just there for looks. So we already figured out about this, so that's one thing that I'm gonna have to work on, try to figure it out, get a plate or something to put behind it to kind of sandwich it together. I put the buttons on the steering wheel right here just because I was bored. So yeah, so it's slowly coming together. I do need to get it up on the lift so I can do the rest of the fuel line at the bottom, get that stuff in and done. But like I've been saying, Nick's car is up there, so it's gonna have to wait for now. So another thing, when I get it up on the lift, I'm gonna finish the brakes. Gotta take the transmission motor out, fill the converter with fluid and stuff like that, get all that stuff situated. What else do I have to do? The brakes in the back, I'm not too the brakes in the back are there. The rear end, everything is in and stuff like that, but the axles I have to upgrade because they're only 32 spline and the studs on the wheels, they're not thick enough, or they're not big enough, so I'm worried about them breaking. So right now I'm kind of trying to decide what I should do. If I should put the money into this rear end, even though it's narrow, I will never be able to fit a small tire on it, like a 10 5 or something like that, just because of how narrow it is. It will look ridiculously stupid. So right now I'm trying to decide, is it worth the money to put in this rear end? Because like I just said, I have to upgrade the axles. The third member I have to upgrade as well, because it doesn't have a posi in it, and the gearing in it I think is like a 456 or something like that. So I want to change the gears out. To do all that with the third member, the axles, upgrade the studs, everything like that, I got that already priced out. That's about $2,000, a little bit more than $2,000. So I'm thinking, because if I do want to run a small tire class or run with small tires, again, it will not look right. So my other alternative is to get this running on big tires and then build another rear end for small tires. So I'm trying to kind of just weigh out my options. Is it even worth building two rear ends, having to do all that work to swap it out? Or what I could do is, I could, instead of putting the money into this rear end, I could build another rear end, get that all done, set it up for a small tire. I already have rims, because the rims that we're going to go on the Nova, my dad wants a little bit more of a backspace on it. So like I just said, I already have those rims. I think they're 15 by 12 with like a 3.5 or 4-inch backspace, which will look nice on the truck. I just have to build the rear end to that spec. And then what I could do is, when I do want to run small tires, I could just when I do want to run big tires, I could just change the rims and tires. To do all that, I'm looking probably around like $4,000. So it is more, but logically that's the best route to go, because just spending $2,000 on this and then having to spend all that money again on another rear end, and then tires and rims and all that stuff, I'm better off just building a whole new rear end. So what I'm thinking about doing is just getting this thing running for now, get it started up, get all that done, not touch the rear end. The brakes, I obviously can't finish until I get the rear end stuff done, because I have to tie all that in. But just going ahead and getting it running, getting it started, that will give me probably a little bit more motivation, just because it's running, but I won't be able to drive it. But it still motivates me to kind of get it done, because it's so close. So anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. If you liked it, I know it was shorter. I know it's a lot of time lapse, but I'm trying to figure out what I need to get done. Nick's car hopefully will be back up and running soon. I know he's probably going to want to go to the track. I know Chris's car, the Civic, he has a couple more things, and he's going to be actually getting ready to go to the dyno soon, so look forward to that. So yeah, hopefully everything starts coming together soon. Hopefully all the cars start getting running soon, and we can get back to the track, get back to some racing and stuff like that. Nick and Chris might do the next no prep race, which I believe is in April, I want to say, but I'm not 100% sure. So if the car's running right, if everything is going good, then odds are we will be there. So we just got to see what happens. So anyways, like I said, that is it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We post every single Monday at 4 o'clock. Sometimes we're a little late. I try not to be, but sometimes, life happens. So either way, we post every Monday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.